Vermont Republicans are selecting new party leaders this weekend, but one speaker at their convention is raising questions about the party's future in Vermont. Channel 3 political reporter Calvin Cutler joins us live in studio now. Calvin, set the stage for us.
Well, good evening, Kat. The convention will allow Republicans to select new leaders and get to talk about issues of health care, housing, public safety, and more. But one speaker with ties to the January 6th riot is raising eyebrows.
Party politics in the Queen City this weekend. In the latest step of the party reorganization process, the Vermont GOP is holding its state convention, where party faithful will select leaders.
I think people will be there just because they're interested in what's happening with the party.
The convention will feature several speakers, including former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown, activist Grover Norquist, and Scott Pressler.
We're going to march to the Supreme Court.
Pressler, a conservative activist, has worked in states like Florida and Louisiana to encourage Republicans to vote early and absentee, something some in the GOP base have been skeptical of.
That's an important part that Republicans need to embrace if we want to be competitive and win.
But his appearances haven't been without controversy. Pressler has come under fire from some for his support of the riot at the Capitol on January 6th, having organized so-called Stop the Steal rallies. The Vermont Democratic Party condemned Pressler's appearance and says Governor Phil Scott has a responsibility to fix his party, saying, quote, "The Vermont Republican Party has descended into conspiracy mongering, and this honored speaker should be the last straw." Governor Phil Scott has at times been at odds with the base of the GOP. He didn't comment on Pressler, but he says he's not planning on attending the GOP convention.
Almost every single weekend I'm out doing something with the flood recovery, and this is no exception.
Republicans at the State House control just 38 of 150 seats in the House and 7 of 30 in the Senate. Scott, who polls show is the most popular governor in the country, says he'll be working on his own candidate recruitment efforts.
We'll be working on other events and trying to encourage people. I've said we need more centrist, more common sense folks running for the legislature, and I hope to encourage them to do so.
Dame says in the coming weeks, he'll also be ramping up recruitment of candidates of a similar political stripe as Scott.
We need to find candidates who can work with the governor, that are connected to their community, that are good representatives, and are after all those same things that I think are core Republican values.
Now, meanwhile, Vermont Democrats are also selecting their officers this weekend, but will not hold their state convention until next May. Live in studio, Calvin Cutler, Channel 3 News.